Greetings and salutations from your American truck driver. Getting the legal stuff out of the way first. I do not represent any company. These are my personal opinions and observations. July 12th, Business Weekly put out a very interesting article about automated trucks. It's not the technology that's going to hold them back. It's the law that's going to hold them back. As of right now, there are no liability rules for automated vehicles. In other words, your family gets killed by one of these automated trucks, you have no one to sue. On average, out of all last year, 3,326 wrecks recorded with semi vehicles, only 20% of those were caused by the truck driver. 80% were the small vehicles. And this is going by the Business Weekly. They got statistics from a university. You can look this up. It was put out, like I said, July 12th of this year. Today's July 14th, FYI. So 2 days ago. So in those instances where it is the big truck's fault, you are able to sue the driver, sue the trucking company that hired the driver, and you can hold the company that hired the truck company to move their goods. Just to give you an idea. But as of right now, with automated vehicles, you're hit, oh well, there's nothing that's going to help you as far as the law goes. There is no liability for these vehicles, which is a absolute nightmare in my opinion. There was a guy in this article by the name of Donald Browington. If I missaid that, I apologize. Of Browington firms, and he says that this is one of the more concerning issues. Not the technology doesn't exist, because it does, but that the law is not up to standards with the technology. Matter of fact, Congress is looking at a law right now called the AV START Act. Now, of course, they're not going to report about this in mainstream or put it out there for the public to know. You got to look this stuff up yourself. As I say, half the stuff you don't believe, the other half you question. In other words, Google it. But with this act, it'll prevent people from suing the makers of automated vehicles or joining in a class action lawsuit. In other words, it'll be private arbitration if you get into a wreck while inside one of these automated vehicles. And 99% of the time, these private arbitrations, forgive me, always go on the side of the big tech company. That's just fact. You can look at any of the cases in the past, and to me that's just scary as hell. So let's just say I'm delivering a load and I get into a wreck. I get T-boned by one of these automated vehicles, and I am in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. Sorry. No, you're just in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. We can't do anything, and you can't sue us. So this really needs to be addressed. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if this AV START Act passes, it's just going to be an absolute living nightmare, especially with more of these automated vehicles getting out there. Uber is looking at actually getting a fleet of these automated transports out there so they can transport goods for people and companies at a lower rate. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the automated vehicles are not in the future. They are here. But there are issues. Right now, from what I've heard, and I'm doing some research, maybe y'all can find more out about it, but there are 38 states right now that are looking at laws and legalities for semi trucks that are automated. Apparently, there's been quite a few wrecks with these automated trucks being tested, and they're finding kinks and bugs in the system. Right now, as is, the only vehicles that are allowed in all the states are under 10,000 pounds. Now, maybe in the next 10 years, we're going to have laws that will allow automated trucks out there. As of right now, on a testing phase, there are some that are going across large parts, in other words, straight stretches of highway between the East Coast and California. That I know, but as far as going north to south and throughout the states on smaller scales, no. The more I find out about it, the more I will try and pass on the information. But this is a very good article, very well written, definitely worth a read. Even if you're not a truck driver, this is something that should be passed on to those of you who drive the highways a lot in your smaller vehicles. I mean, let's face it, you could be right next to one of these automated trucks and it could sideswipe you if there's a problem in there. I don't know. But as is right now, there is no way to hold the company that has built this truck or the software that is driving the vehicle accountable. And if this AV Start Act passes, there won't be. So, you know, look into this for yourselves. This needs to be addressed. It really does. So, anyways, the more I find out about it, the more I'll pass on. Until that time, y'all keep the rubber side down and be safe out there on America highways.